welcome to TalkFCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. And coming up in this packed video today, we are going to be discussing the big injury concern to Frenkie de Jong. We're also going to be talking about Barcelona's free kick routine and whether something different could be done with that. We're also going to be discussing our youngster Pedri and the incredible assist that he provided yesterday for Las Palmas. There's Neymar on the agenda too, with a court case or two for discussion, before finally the words of Gerard Pique, more controversy as he potentially hits out at Real Madrid. Pressure now on their game tonight against Sociedad. It's all coming up and plenty more. Let's do it. But if we do get that bad news out of the way straight away, and it does come there in the form of Frenkie de Jong. Now, remember, of course, from the first game that we returned on, it was against Mallorca. De Jong was subbed in that game with a reported calf problem that kept him out then of the game against Leganés, and in particular there, he missed the all-important game against Sevilla. But Quique Setién seemed to believe that it was just a little problem and that de Jong would be back in time here for Athletic, or at least definitely by our game against Celta Vigo. There wasn't expected to be any concern there surrounding the long-term fitness of Frenkie de Jong. However, the problem now lies in the fact they've done more tests on de Jong, they've looked at that original problem a lot more closely now, and sadly, Barcelona today say the clinical follow-up on Frenkie de Jong has uncovered an injury in the soleus of his right leg, and now his recovery will have to be redetermined. They don't know now when Frenkie de Jong is going to be back, and this one looks much more serious than that original calf problem. And right now, in the Spanish media, Cat Radio, a few of the big Barcelona sources, they've actually come out and said, look, de Jong right now is in danger of missing the rest of the La Liga season. Because the problem is, with how quickly the games come now, if you pick up an injury, if you pick up here even just a small strain, something like that, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, suddenly that rules you out of so many games. If de Jong was out for just the 2 weeks, which would be certainly a best case scenario, he'd miss around 4 Barcelona games. But more likely, it's looking there between 3 to 4 weeks, which could see him miss the remainder of our La Liga season. But he is expected to return, and he should be back in time for the Champions League in August. But of course, for de Jong, that's gutting. And it really is unfair. Football at times is so cruel, because you look at our squad right now, who's the one player, who's one of the only players who hasn't been injured up to this point? It's Frenkie de Jong. Who's the fittest player in our squad? I'd say that is Frenkie de Jong. He came back from lockdown. He had brilliant stats. He was top of everything. And now, in that first game, cruel luck, nothing at all that he's done. So unlucky here that he could miss such an important run-in for Barcelona. And it is a big blow. And of course, now you're looking at that midfield, particularly Riqui Puig. He should have more minutes. That would be one positive way to spin it. But there's big pressure on the likes of Busquets, Rakitic and Arthur Melo to really perform now and really step up. And before we do move on there to that stunning assist yesterday from Pedri, I do want to take a quick look back at the game against Sevilla, and in particular, the free kick routine that Lionel Messi had on the edge of the box, and it was about 20 or so minutes into the game, and I just want to highlight something here and just put a question to you guys, because we all know that Messi, from a free kick situation, from a dead ball situation, he is unbelievable. For me, the best free kick taker in the world by some distance. You know that when he gets the ball in range, he has a genuine chance of scoring every single time. But the problem is, the fact that he is that good means that now teams are starting to plan for that. You are starting to see teams now not only line up their wall, not only line up the goalkeeper, but also there, as you can see, Sevilla there, putting a man underneath the wall to stop Messi going low. They've also got somebody there in Koundé who actually lines up behind the wall, and he's going to make that run back in to protect his goalkeeper and actually head Lionel Messi's goal-bound shot away from danger. And the interesting part of this is that every single team facing a Lionel Messi free kick are absolutely glued to that ball. All they're focusing on there is Messi. What's he going to do? Is he going to go low? Is he going to go right? Is he going to go left? And they brought every single man back there to try and stop that danger. In the process, though, you look around you and you look there at that back post. Now, of course, it's a short-range free kick. Of course, Messi has a genuine chance of scoring there, and he's probably going to take on that shot. But just have a look up. Look at all of the unmarked Barcelona players inside the area, and you look at it there. You've got Arturo Vidal there coming in at the back post. You've got Braithwaite in there. You've got Suarez, Pique, and these aren't small players. These are players who are very, very good in the air. And you just wonder now, is there a time for Barcelona whereby with teams planning to stop Messi at all costs, should we at times mix things up? Because on the training ground, you will be able to replicate that sort of routine, and there might just be a case here to say, look, 9 times out of 10, Messi can shoot. But in this kind of situation, just this once, we'll change it up. We'll surprise the opposition. We'll put the ball in the box there. And Messi, of course, is good enough to deliver that right onto one of those Barcelona heads. And as you can see, we're clearly outnumbering them. We would have got the header in. And from that distance, you've also got a great chance of scoring. And for me there, guys, let me know what you think down below. But I think that's something definitely worth considering. But if we do now move on to the subject of the youngster Pedri, the 17-year-old, highly talented Las Palmas midfielder, who, of course, Barcelona there have officially signed. We agreed the deal there way back in 2019, and he was always going to sign there with a view to officially being presented this coming summer. On July the 1st, technically, he will be a Barcelona player, whether or not I'll get slightly pushed back. But either way, from next season, Pedri is going to be in a Barcelona shirt. And ever since that was announced, we were all very, very excited about this young man, because he is somebody who can make things happen. He's such a creative player. He's got an incredible balance, incredible centre of gravity there, very low to the ground. He can move with the ball. His dribbling is outstanding. He can play wide. He can play in an attacking midfield position. And I think there we are all very, very excited to see what this young man can bring to the Barcelona team. And certainly this season with Las Palmas, once again, he's shown that quality, that huge, huge talent that he has, because even at just 17 years old, he's actually quite a leader in that team. He's the biggest goal provider this season with 5 assists to his name and 3 goals as well in what has been, to be honest, quite an average season for Las Palmas. But I want to talk in particular about his assist yesterday. It was absolutely breathtaking there. Las Palmas won, Lugo 0, and Pedri was the man there who single-handedly provided that goal and got them all 3 points. And just have a look at this. Honestly, ridiculous dribbling from Pedri. You know that I can't show the full clip due to copyright, but if you want to go and have a look at the goal, please do. But let's talk through it here, because Pedri there is going to make that intelligent run into space. He's going to get picked out down the right-hand side, but as you can see here, he does have a defender shadowing his movements. The defender there is showing him down the line. He's quite happy to have Pedri in that sort of position. Now, as you can see here, Pedri now does stop the ball. He takes a touch, and the defender squares him up. Right now, there's no danger on. The defender thinks, you know what, I've got Pedri right where I want him. I've cornered him. He's not going around me. He's not getting into the box. All he's going to do there is pass the ball back, and I've averted the danger. And what Pedri does here is absolutely incredible, because it's the art of disguise. He steps over the ball, he twists his body, and suddenly, in the blink of an eye, he's gone from being there with his back to the defender, with his back to goal, in no danger for the opposition whatsoever. One quick flick, one quick body feint, a little bit of movement there, and he's flicked the ball over the defender, and he's running in behind. He's got the pace to get there, he's got the awareness, he has a brilliant first touch there, sets himself, and suddenly now he's done the hard bit. He's done the brilliant trickery. It's a fantastic move, brilliant piece of skill, but this is the important part. He's still got to find that final ball, because so often you see with young players, they do all the hard work, they do the fancy stuff, they do the tricks, but they don't have that final product. But no, Pedri gets his head up, he sees Ruben Castro there arriving in the 6-yard box. Brilliant, brilliant pass. He literally puts it on a plate for his attacker, and that there, the winning goal for Las Palmas, a moment of absolute genius from Pedri, and believe me, this man, really, really exciting. And from one end of the spectrum there to a young emerging talent yet to play for Barcelona, we now move to a player who has been at Barcelona in the past but isn't anymore, because we have to talk here about Neymar. We have to talk here about the court battle that's been going on now for quite some time between Neymar and Barcelona. Because you may remember that when Neymar left Barca back in 2017, there was a big dispute there between Neymar and the club over a reported unpaid loyalty bonus that Neymar felt that he was owed. Now, when you're talking talking about Neymar, it's quite ironic there to be talking about a loyalty bonus, but he believed that he was owed money from the club, and either way, he sued the club for a huge sum of 43.6 million euros as part there of the contract extension that he signed back in October 2016, before, of course, that coming summer, he left to join Paris Saint-Germain. But as a result, Neymar and his father, they were adamant they were still owed that money, and they took it to court. They sued the club in order to gain the money they were owed. However, in response to that, Barca turned round then and said, you know what, we're not only going to defend ourselves here, but we are going to sue you back. They then sued Neymar for a breach of contract, and then a battle in the courts has commenced. Because from one side to the other, this has been going on now for such a long time, all the while, of course, incredibly, we've still been trying to sign Neymar. While all of this has been going on, we've still tried to bring him back, with reports even suggesting in the past that Neymar himself would be willing to drop this court case and actually forget that 43 million that he felt that he was owed in order there to return to the club that he was so desperate to get back to. However, I just got to say, that's no longer going to be an issue for Barcelona. That now is not on the table for Neymar anymore. He can't say, you know what, we'll just forget about that court case, because the court came out in favour there of Barcelona. On Friday, it was officially announced by the Spanish court that they had ruled in favour of Barca, completely dismissing Neymar's claim after the defence that Barcelona had brought forward. And not only that, because incredibly here, not only did the court throw out Neymar's claim, he's not going to get that 43 million that he felt that he was owed, but in turn, the court ruled that Neymar actually owed Barcelona some of that money. They say now that Neymar must return 6.7 million euros to the club, which, given our finances right now, that might be quite welcome. Neymar does indeed, though, have the right to appeal, and this could even drag on even longer. But this is a very, very interesting situation. It's something, like I say, that has been going on for a long time. And like I said, given our financial situation, we wouldn't have been happy at all if we had to pay out that 43 million euros. What this does for Neymar to Barca, I'm not really sure. I said before, I don't think it can happen this summer, given the financial situation of all of the clubs right now in football. Neymar isn't going to be coming to Barcelona anytime soon. And potentially here, this chapter could be closed. Neymar, Barcelona, they're still connected in some ways, but potentially further away than ever. But finally, guys, we do have to talk here about yet more controversy. This one, though, is not regarding transfers. This is regarding the words of Gerard Pique, who came out there immediately after our draw against Sevilla, after dropping points there and potentially surrendering our lead in La Liga to Real Madrid. And it was just interesting to see exactly what Pique said after that game, because he was basically asked whether he thought that Barcelona could still win La Liga ahead of Real Madrid. And he said the following words, and see what you make of this. He said, seeing how the matches have gone so far, it's going to be difficult for us to win this league. He said the draw leaves us in a position where we no longer depend on ourselves. And looking at the fixtures, it's difficult to imagine Real Madrid are going to drop points, but we will still give everything to try and win it. Now, on the face of it, you wouldn't say there that Pique is saying anything crazy controversial. You wouldn't say there that he called out the league or called out Real Madrid. But if you do look a little bit closer there into those words of Pique, I think everybody there in the Spanish media has basically realised that he was saying, given how the matches have gone, given the way that Real Madrid have fared recently, it's unlikely they're going to drop points. Basically referencing the very questionable decision they got against Valencia, that opening goal that went against them from Rodrigo. That was ruled out. Real, of course, a crucial game, went on to win that 3-0, and that did seem there to be exactly the kind of thing that Pique was referencing. But what's going to be interesting now is tonight. Sociedad against Real Madrid. Are we going to see any questionable decisions? Are we going to see anything that's very much borderline? And it's going to be interesting to see how the officials do this. Because those words from Pique there, they may not seem all that significant. They may not seem as though they're too outlandish. But what that will do now is just put that bit more pressure on the officiating tonight, and that game at the Anoeta, it is absolutely huge. Keep a close eye on that. We'll hope for the best. But like I said before, I don't really like here being in the position where you're hoping for other teams to do you a favour, where you're hoping here to get bailed out by another team. We should have kept things in our own hands. We didn't do that. That's disappointing. But of course, we keep on fighting every single day. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Plenty to discuss today, guys. Plenty of news to bring you. And please let me know on everything we have covered. I will see you soon with the build-up for Barca against Athletic starting very soon. But until next time, as always, Visca! El Barça!